everybody. Brother J Day. Brother J Day. That's what's up. Alright, each one teach one. Let's get into this prospecting. That and that are my setup. My batteries are down there. You'll just have to imagine. Alright. These are my hand bowls. That's my gravity trap. This is my sluice box. And y'all remember, there's a second box underneath. That's your catch box. Okay? The mat's already in here. The hose is in here. Made modifications to the hose because drill bit holes, or the screw holes, whatever you want to call them, they weren't big enough. So what I did was I actually split the entire seam of the hose, and we'll see what I get there. I think I got too much water. Not too much water, but I just got it coming out somewhat sporadically, so I gotta hit this. I gotta hit the hard streams of water to really get a good result. With this, I'm gonna have to cut a new hose. But the idea, yeah, for for a first draft design, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a good prototype. So now we put up another one. I'm gonna build another one, and this time I'm not gonna build another one. All I'm gonna do is just put a new water supply hose on there. I'll put a new hose on there, and I'll just make probably clean splits. I'm still thinking to go with 2 rows, so I'll have to decide how long the splits are, but I'll just make clean splits in the hose in 2 rows, and that should give me a better sheet of water. Right now I got good water, it's just sporadic. It's concentrated in some places and really shallow in others. But for the sake of science, we'll just proceed, shall we? Alright, I ain't gonna lie to you, I gotta kill my coffee off. So let me pause this, and then I'll come right back and we'll start shoveling stuff in our sluice. Alright, y'all, we're back. So, okay, let me show you what we're gonna run a little bit. First of all, in this bowl right here, I got 1/2 inch and bigger rocks from the latest culvert that I sifted out, shoveled out, whatever you want to call it, like that. Anyway, got the materials and brought them back to my wet bar. So we're gonna throw them in the micro sluice and see what we get. And I haven't done a super duper kind of microfine type of classification here. I just basically broke it down to I ran it through my screens, right? So first I broke it down to 1/4 inch, then I broke it down to like really fine, smaller materials in the 5 millimeter range, and whatever kind of dust and crap came through the screen is probably down in the 5 millimeter range stuff. Anyway, I don't want to take too long on this because I got a motorbike I got to get running. I'll let y'all see that once I get it going. So here's the other material. See? It's kind of granular. It's got a lot of dust and stuff in it, things like that. And here's a bunch more 1/2 inch rocks just like those. So I guess I'll probably put these together. Get myself a bowl, free up a bowl. But before I do that, I want to inspect these rocks a little bit. And I got a couple of hard rock samples I'm going to show you guys. Hard rock sample of what? I have no idea. There's an epithermal quartz vein not far from where my base camp is. So me and my buddy Don went up there, and I got a very small sample, actually. Such a small sample that really, I don't know if I find something in there though, who knows. But really the sample was too small. I should have got a bigger sample. But anyway, I got a sample of what I could basically carry off the mountain on my back without a backpack. And I can tell you right now, when you go out in the field and you're getting samples, these things, even if they don't have a speck of gold in there, they will still be heavy. They'll be heavy with black sand and other minerals and rocks. I mean, just rocks in general. Rocks are heavy. So, you know, being able to carry a whole lot of rocks off the side of a cliff that's at a 45-degree angle or steep requires a lot of arm strength. Not so much in your biceps but really in your triceps and in your grip. You know, your grip, triceps, the strength of your wrist, because he'll be steep. And so, you know, to sum it all up, even the strongest man probably not going to be able to carry more than 40 pounds a mile, because you got to grip that with your hands on those handle buckets. And I said all of that to tell you to make sure that you always take a 40-gallon backpack with you out in the wilderness. So, you know, and really you need that to be empty to carry materials. So what you do is you take that 40-gallon backpack, and you figure out some kind of way to hook it to your equipment. And then you have another backpack, significantly smaller backpack, that you use for you know, camping equipment and shit like that. But you need that 40-gallon backpack for carrying equipment. What you do is you put a trash can in there, not a trash can, but a trash bag in there with string ties on it or something like that. And you can just shovel straight into the backpack, or you can have, like I do, 4 or 5 buckets inside the pack. And when you fill them up, they'll fill up the pack pretty nice. And you can just shovel straight into each individual bucket. Then when you're done, you just zip up the bag. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'll try to show you guys how to do that at some point, because you want your hands free climbing down the side of a slope. Coming down the side of a really steep slope, you want your hands free. You can run into anything out there, steep gully or crack in the bedrock or snake or porcupine or pear cactus or any friggin' thing, for real. So you want your hands free. That way you can kind of control your descent. Because if you can't control your descent, then of course it's a fall. You know, so you don't want to fall. Alright, well these rings stink, but anyway. Go to and then get my pan. Alright. I have a whole lot more material here, but I guess I'll just show it to you as we go. So here's some more. Now that's really fine. And keep in mind, I haven't run any of this through any kind of water. And I got this. And that's moist, but I think I had water inside this container. Either that or I poured it. Let me look at these. Can't quite remember on that one. Okay, so the dry samples I showed you so far come from culvert number 2. And these samples right here come from the runoff ravine right there at the quartz outcropping. Put all this back somewhere. I have another pail of that stuff down there from the quartz outcropping. I'll show it to you when we get to it. Let me get these half-inch rocks out of the way. Don's like, I ain't carrying too much over, baby. It wasn't even 2 pounds. I'm going to start with the coarser material. Try to classify it a little bit as I go. But I'm going to start with this material right here. It's a little bit coarser. It's about 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch. Kind of hard to tell. And on down from there, you know. So there's a lot of dirt and stuff in here too. So this, in theory, would be the ideal material for running in your micro sluice. Something about, I would say, 1/16 of an inch on down. This isn't made for running like super high volumes. This is really ideal for doing field sampling. And it's good for when you're in the cabin in the wintertime and you got a lot of materials to process and you got a lot of time, you know. But this is not made for in a hurry, in a rush, process a whole heap of material. It's not going to process a ton of material in a half an hour. Now this, as long as you have battery power, you could process a ton of material in the setup. But it would take you probably about 4 or 5 hours. You'd be better off to have a full-scale sluice if you're going to process that much material. This is just samples. My average samples are between 20 and 30 pounds. And they're already classified down to 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, I don't have an 1/8 inch screen. I should, but 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 5 mil. So yeah. Alright, so let's turn this thing on and we'll get it cracking. I'm gonna move this over to here. I'm gonna adjust this light a little teeny bit so you can see this going on in here. First, I'm gonna turn it on. Alright, so I got a pretty good water flow going down. This is a pretty solid sheet all the way across, but I do have stronger water flow for some reason all the way at the end where I corked the hose up. I think it's because there's a backlash right there by the water flow, so it hits the cork and bounces back, so it's giving me hard flow right there. I have a really big notch right here in the hose, so it's giving me pretty hard water flow right there. Right here, right along this crease but straight down, you can see that there's very weak water flow right here, which is annoying me. This side of the mat in general, the water flow needs to be maximized somehow. I have an idea. Let me try something real quick. This is what you call fix this shit on the fly. I'm gonna make this fucker work. Excuse my French, but for real though, sometimes you just gotta be like that. I'm gonna make this thing work. Get my parent knife on you. Chop your ass up like a kung fu movie. Alright, now I got much better water flow on there. Forgive my French, but sometimes you do gotta go there. Building contraptions with instructions is aggravating. Building contraptions from scratch pure trial and error. So you just figure it out as you go. And you always want to have enough when you're going to build your first prototype of anything. Make sure you have enough materials to make two, because you're going to mess up the first one. Just in materials construction, in your cuts, you're going to cut short. You're going to make too many holes. You're not going to think things through because you're excited about the project you're building. And then you're going to need the materials to make another one. And you don't want to lose your momentum waiting around to buy materials because your money's broke, your timing is bad. So make sure you got the money for 2 prototypes right off the bat. And then the first one is what it is. You learn from that. You learn a lot from that. And then you do the next one, and the next one comes out nice. As long as you follow what you learned from the first one, that is. Alright, so we got an okay water flow there. So if I can find my scooper, then we'll start doing this. But for real, I don't know where my scooper is, so I'll catch you in a second. Alright, so we're back. And as you recall, I just pointed out to you the components of the micro sluice are not just the sluice box. They're the sluice box plus the catch box. In addition to the catch box, you have your various bowls and pans, whatever you've made or bought. And then you have your your liquid gravity trap. And then down there to the far left in front of me would be your batteries. And I have my batteries hooked up to my battery charger while I'm in the house, so that I ain't gotta worry about power. When I'm out in the field, I have them hooked up to my solar panels, where they're charging my house batteries and at the same time they're running my equipment. My solar panels are pretty decent for my little needs. Anyway, we'll talk about off-grid living at a later date. So this is the sluice box in its proper setup. Now there's one small detail I didn't mention, and that is this little can right here. You can use any kind of can you want, peanut butter jar, anything. It doesn't matter. You just want to set something right here in the front of the tray that it'll push the sluice box back, because the catch box and the sluice box are exactly the same perimeter. So by pushing the sluice box back, it has to go at an angle in order to accommodate the bottom half of the box. So now it's at something like, the box is at about, I don't know, maybe 35-degree angle. The sluice mat is at a 45-degree angle. Then it comes to something like a real shallow 20-degree angle, and then it goes back over at a 45-degree angle. And in order to set this box up at an angle like this, I had to rearrange how I set up the motor. So I still have the water coming out of the water hose right here, and you see that running across the whole top of the box. But what you cannot see is that down here in this corner of the box, I set the motor right there in the corner of the box, and I increased the amount of water that I have inside of my catch pan, because when I had the box in here flat, my catch pan only was about halfway up. When I move the box out here at an angle, I need to raise my catch pan almost all the way up. I still got about an inch, about the same amount as this lip right here. I got about an inch before I overflow my catch pan. And I had to do that so that my motor can suck enough water in order to not burn out. So if you're wondering about my mindset on this whole project and why I adjusted the sluice box to sit at an angle, roughly 30 degrees, it's because I wasn't getting enough water pressure coming down the mat. And I was getting a sheet of water across pretty much the whole mat, but it was sporadic in its water pressure. So the way I fix that is because I really can't cut any more holes in this hose. If I do that, the water pressure will go down to almost nothing. You know, there won't be any hose for the water to push against to get pressure. So what I have to do is I have to raise the angle of the mat. That way gravity will increase the speed of the water coming down the mat. Kind of smooth it all out. Hit it a little bit harder and eat more even. So hopefully that concept makes sense. Hopefully nature agrees with me. And we're gonna plug this thing in. And we'll go ahead and run that bowl of 16-inch material. So there goes the water. I'm pretty sure you saw that. I'm just gonna set this right here. So good. Now for me, this box would work better if I had these holes facing the other way, because I'm right-handed, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and try to handle it with these holes set up for a left-handed person. Like if you're left-handed, this is how you set it up. If you're right-handed, you would turn the box around the other way so that these flaps facing toward your right. So basically, whatever direction the holes are facing in, that's the direction it's set up for. These are facing to my left, and so it's for left-handed scooping. If you face it to your right, then you can scoop from the right. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's scoop. Now, I'm probably going to be pretty clumsy with this because I already explained to y'all I'm at the wrong place. Facing the wrong side. Sort of something like that. And you're supposed to go wet to wet and dry to dry. I'm just going to run some of this, not all of it, but some of this dry material, I'm just going to run it just like it is. Just to demonstrate that if you wanted to do this straight from a shovel, I wouldn't recommend you go straight from a shovel. You ought to classify a little bit. But even if you wanted to go straight from a shovel, you pretty much could. Alright. So I just scoop some. And try to get it up here in the water jet. That way I'm pretty sure it'll have a good stream the whole way down. And yeah, just keep doing this basically. Being kind of clumsy here. I need to not be so clumsy. I wish I had my good scooping bowl though. I don't know what I did with it. Sorry about the jacket. Well, there are a couple of ways you can feed it. Just feed it whatever way feels good to you, but don't feed it too fast. Main thing is just don't feed it too fast. Feed this thing at a rate that it can consume it. Now, if you have more water supply, and I was thinking of a way to get more water supply, you take 2 pumps and use a T connector, and then you would have the water pressure from both pumps. And I think that would work really good, and I may well do that. Yeah, that's basically it. Rotate bowl every once in a while so you don't splash the material out. Whoa, about to drop a bunch. Better just block it up for a minute. Oh, I got something real heavy there. That's something real heavy right there. I don't know what that is. Throw that in my mystery collection. And see, y'all probably can't see it, but what I'm doing mostly, and I'm learning this right along with you. Like I said, I had the idea on how to build it, but I've never built it before. It didn't really come with instructions or nothing like that, so I'm not exactly sure what the best way to use it is. I just know that it's going to be useful. So, because of that, you learn different ways to use it. And I started out by tapping it on the hose, which works pretty good. Tapping it on the edge of the lid, that works pretty good. Or just holding it. You see that string coming out right there in that great big pattern? Well, I might as well take advantage of it, so I'll show you. I think I figured out a way. See that? I'll just hold it under that string. Probably could just leave it there and dump it in with some other scooper, but yeah, I'll just hold it under that stream. That's all I'm doing, really. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's a test run. That's interesting. Why is that? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish running this little bit. It won't take me long, probably another 20 or 30 minutes. And then I'll hit you guys back. We'll do the next video. You stiff. Alright. So, peace, love, and soul. Every day's Brother J Day. Every day's prospecting day. And if you're not prospecting gold, then go out and prospect some business customers. Offer to paint a house, detail a car. I don't know, maybe affiliate programs online. Yeah, I strongly recommend people learn sales. Sales is a very valuable skill to have, but if you're not prospecting gold and silver, then get out there and prospect customers and build your own business, whatever it is. But live the American dream, okay? The American dream is to build your own business and have your own. And Brother J Day, peace and blessings, one love. Check you on a minute.